Hi, I'm Jeremy Grunin. I am the president of the Grunin Foundation. Welcome to Collaboration Wednesday. Uh, we are very, very fortunate to be joined this week by the Director of Ocean County Tourism and Business Development. That is Dana Lancellotti. How are you, Dana?
Hi, Jeremy. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So this is a busy season, right? It looks like
Uh,
everything's opening up just in time.
hmm. Yeah, not everything.
No, no. Well, we're working on it. We're working on it. So tell me, how is how has this been different for you this year? I mean, the obvious is that it's crazy, but what's your life been like over these last couple of months?
So weird. Yeah. Well, I mean, think about it this way. So my main purpose in my job is to get people from out of the area to travel here and to gather. So that doesn't work very well right now in this time. So, it was really one of the things that's really hard for me, just personally, with this is not having any vision. I plan everything way ahead, and for so much of this time, we couldn't see anything a day ahead. And so that's been super tough. Doing the job that I do because we plan on the summer way before the summer. And obviously tourism is all year round. We have various things that we promote all year, but the summer is of course, our big season. And the marketing and the planning that goes into that is all happening way before that, right? So when COVID really ramped up here and things were closed, I had to stop the marketing campaign that I run from January through to the summertime. We were already running digital marketing efforts out of state, and we had to change. We had to restructure our entire plan as far as how we were going to market this when we did start up again, and redo the commercial and the banner ads and all the things that we do. So yeah, it's been so difficult having that, like walking on tippy toes and not knowing what's coming next or what will even be open in the summer. We didn't know if we'd have a summer at all at
Right.
one point. So
Yeah,
just
and that's got to be crazy because you hear people, and you and I have talked about this before. There's folks that live in our area that just don't really realize how important tourism is,
mhm,
and especially in light of this pandemic, they are saying, they don't want people here,
mhm.
and they don't understand that if we don't get people here, then economic livelihoods are going to literally fall by the wayside. So this is some campaign that you're having to juggle this year.
It's crazy. And yes, and I'm super sensitive to that. As much as I've always been a advocate of tourism, I grew up at the shore. I've been here all my life, so I understand that people are inconvenienced by the visitors. But on the other hand, we now are a $5 billion economic impact on Ocean County as of 2019. We know for sure that that's plummeted at this point already. So that's going to affect us for a long time. And so finding the right message to give and when it was safe to put the message out was really difficult. But we did come up with our from 6 feet apart to 6 feet together with the picture of the feet in the sand, the 3 pairs of feet. Anyway, that's sort of our thing is when it is safe, we look forward to having you back, kind of thing. And we do have the commercial running now out of state and all over upstate New Jersey and all kinds of stuff. We're in motion, but I still sometimes I look at it and I get nervous that it's going to pull people too quickly. I think right now we're very comfortable with our own local people in the region coming to the beaches and enjoying where we live and really enjoying our backyard, right? I think that the message I'm giving locally right now is to not only shop local, but beach local. I think that we need to encourage our local people to support our local industry. And we need to, so I'm doing some local campaigns now, trying to push that message out there because it's sort of the best that we can do for ourselves right now is to actually stay here and consume in our own backyard, right? So
Yeah, that's
yeah.
interesting because a lot of folks, like, you don't think about that, but a lot of folks that live here year round, when this season comes, have a tendency to go somewhere else, right? Because while we may enjoy it, let's say Monday to Thursday, possibly on the weekends we're heading somewhere else where we're avoiding those folks, and really this is the time. I got to tell you, I was driving south on the Parkway, and the best sign I could see over the weekend was that Island Beach State Park was closed because it was full.
Yeah.
So that I like seeing that. I like seeing that.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome.
so this is a collaboration deal. So talk to me a little bit about, because we have collaboration within the organization, collaboration outside of the organization. Talk to me a little bit about how you've had to collaborate within the county, within folks that are, that are in your regular circle, and what that's looked like, especially at a time of this craziness.
Well, it's been interesting because a lot of the people that I'm working with are waiting for the governor's guidelines through this entire thing, step by step, right? Whether they could open a beach, and if they did open the beach, what are the guidelines? And so there was a whole lot of constant this Zoom stuff, of course, these virtual meetings. I mean, from the chambers, the state chamber, the New Jersey Business Industry Association, and getting my head around the SBA loans so that I could be of assistance to guide people to the right information, because information has just been so difficult to keep track of during this. But working with all the tourism, we have tourism entities all around the state that we get together in Zoom meetings, probably twice a month it's been, and kind of learning from each other and figuring things out together, and mainly working with the tourism partners in Ocean County, and just being on constant communication with the different towns along the beaches and how they're going to approach this and what their fears are. And then once the governor said that it was okay to open the beaches, which was the weekend before Memorial Day weekend, every town was able to manage it in a different way. Some towns didn't open at all. Some towns said, hey, we're going to do exactly what the governor says, and everyone's going to have to stay moving. They're going to have to, they can't sit down, they can't stand still. And, so a lot of different things happening in every different town. And then, of course, our community partners like Lorita Winery started doing curbside pickup and food truck out in the parking lot so people could come and get their wine or sangria. And, people are coming up with ideas. And Six Flags opened up the safari on May 30th, which was awesome. And we can drive through that safari again like we did when we were younger. So everybody's doing different things. So the collaborating in a way of just being in communication together has been really, really important.
Yeah, it's funny you said we had that no stopping or standing on the beaches was part of the order, and it's like I saw that actually from another governor now who's opening up stores and saying there's not to be any browsing in stores, and I'm like, how do you mandate that exactly? Like how do you know if somebody's browsing in a store or if they're looking? I mean, it's there seems like a lot of gray area, and I think some of it's intentionally gray, some of it's unintentionally gray. How have you found? So you've been able to do a lot with the folks that are in the business, let's say. How do you feel? Do you feel that it's been easier to communicate with folks now? Like there's been more of like a blending together of folks wanting to kind of germinate ideas. And I'm not talking, we're putting politics aside, but do you think that people have been very receptive to hearing how other people are making the sausage currently?
Quite honestly, it depends on who I'm talking to, what meetings I'm in. There are some entities that I have felt are very much wanting to just sort of be in their own corner doing their thing their way and not have to worry about agreeing with everyone else or, hey, we're not the same as you kind of thing. There is a lot of that going on, even around the state between tourism entities. There's a lot of that going on. So yeah, that's kind of crazy. But then on the other side of it, we're sure that the Zoom and the virtual meetings and stuff are going to continue, even if everything comes back to total normalcy again. We're absolutely going to keep doing this as well as meetings in person, because people are much more available to attend when they can do it this way and not have to physically leave. So this could be a breakthrough for a lot of the chambers and things who haven't been able to get participation from people because they run a business, they can't really leave their business, but they could certainly maybe put the laptop, somewhere in the building and they could be available on some of the Zoom meetings, getting together with other businesses and maybe getting more exposure and more networking going on that way. So I think that's a really big positive moving forward in the shifting that we're doing,
Yeah, so it has been a little bit of a challenge because I think I guess the challenge for you, and you know, it's been you're the first person that we've had on who's really who's had to kind of deal with let's say government and you know different officials feeling different ways about different things, even between you know between towns within a particular county, folks are handling things differently. But you've navigated those waters, pardon the pun, pretty well, and do you feel that do you have a sense of when you think there'll be some degree of normalcy at the Jersey Shore this summer?
Well, you know what's funny is we have these beach cams, you know, we have these cameras on things now all the time. So
Right.
when they opened up the beaches, I was living on my laptop looking at that beach cam all day long because I wanted to see like what does this look like up and down the coastline? And the crazy thing was it looked different. Each beach looked different, each county looked different. So already we're approaching it differently just along the 144 miles of the Jersey Shore, 150 miles of the shore that we have here. Everyone is doing something different. And I just, it's so hard to say. We don't, the amusements have not been given the go ahead yet. So we have the rides, the boardwalk. What makes the boardwalks, the vibrant place that they are is the rides, the arcades, the bars, the restaurants, and of course the shops too. And all of that stuff is still being restricted, if not completely closed. So we're not the face of the Jersey Shore that we were. And, you know, a beach you know, you can find beaches in a lot of places and maybe people feel safer in other states than here right now. But when you close down a boardwalk and you don't have all that exciting activity going on right on the beach, right next to the beach like that, then you lose your edge, you know?
Right.
So I worry about people finding new places that they love. And, you know, and then we have to do we got to get you back thing, which is what we had to do after Sandy when they all thought that our beaches were obliterated, you know, 2 years later, which they weren't. They were pretty much coming back. So the first year.
So I haven't done this, but you're in a different game than other folks we've talked to. I wanna kind of put a bow around it with a pitch from you, right? Like, what would you tell people who are considering coming down to the shore, have trepidation about it, are concerned about the health, or you know, are concerned about folks without masks, have seen pictures of gathering at various locales, not necessarily ours. When I say ours, I mean the Jersey Shores. What would you tell people? How would you reel them in, Dana?
Well, 60 or 65% of Ocean County is open space, is like preserved land. So we have a ton of really great outdoor adventurous kinds of things to do where you don't have to be up against people, even if you feel hesitant to go to the beaches, because people do tend to gather closely on the beach when they're sunbathing. So there is a lot of other options in Ocean County where if you want to come down, maybe be at the beaches in the evening, you know, be on the boardwalk in the evening and enjoy that, and enjoy the parks and the open spaces that we have, and go to visit the Pinelands, do things that you haven't done before when you've come here. Also, you know, we have an advantage that we have millions of people who are within a short drive here. So that's another part of our approach is, look, they had to cancel their flights, you know, most likely going somewhere far away on their vacation, and now they can just vacation close by, get in the car, you're safe with your family in the car, and drive down to the Jersey Shore and go to Ocean County's beaches. You know, that's certainly going to be the way that it rolls through this summer. We do also have an issue with hotels. You know, we can't be at maximum capacity. So where do people stay? So we're really going to rely on day trippers, big time, and the locals, the regional people. So
Right. And we do get a lot of those day trippers. We can back that up with what we see on the parkways and on Route 37, et cetera. So
Yes, for
You know,
sure.
well, I know that you're doing everything you can. It's been a just a I can't even imagine being in your position right now. The good news is that next year you're going to look like a rock star when you're up like 60% or whatever you're going to be up next year. But we have to mitigate as much of those losses as we can this year. And then I'll tell you, I spent this past weekend at the in Tom's River and in Seaside. And it was beautiful, and it was a perfect weekend.
Well,
And you could tell because I have this really
that's
great
the color
burn.
there. You look
Yeah,
good.
yeah, it's great. It's great. Maybe I'll sleep tonight. We'll see. But it really is beautiful, and I would implore everybody. The good news is, you're not fighting some of the same throngs that you would have normally fought. So for a lot of people, discover the Jersey Shore for the first time, right?
Yeah. And I'm thinking too, another thing about the bucket, there should be a bucket list for the people who live here. It should be, what did you never do? Have you never done in Ocean County yet? You've lived here. People are always saying, oh, I lived here all my life. I know what's here. No, you know what? There's a lot of stuff here that I haven't done. So I'm really encouraging people to get out and go do those things. Make a list of things that you've never done yet in Ocean County, and go do that as soon as the guidelines allow. But yeah.
And I noticed your shameless plug in the background. We could probably find a lot of those things on the list, right, on oceancountytourism.com.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Dana Lancellotti, Director of Ocean County Tourism and Business Development, really doing yeoman's work, and it's been a challenging time, but you do an amazing job, and you're certainly a great representative for the county and all we have to offer for folks to enjoy. So thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Jeremy. And I want to thank you and the Grunin Foundation for all the incredible, extraordinary things that you guys do for all of us. So thank you and thanks for having me.
Thank you. And I'm Jeremy Grunin. This has been Collaboration Wednesday, and we will see you next week. Thanks.